Welcome, everybody. It's the Last Drill podcast. I have a special guest today, the legendary Coach Steve Smith from Oak Hill Academy, who was also my high school coach. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. I don't know if I'm legendary, but I was your high school coach.
Definitely legendary.
All right.
So, Coach, when we talk about Oak Hill, Oak Hill was founded in 1878. Yeah. And so it wasn't a basketball powerhouse. So what happened in the next 100 years that made it a basketball powerhouse?
It started, it was like a mountain school, and then it was a public school, then it was a private school. This is back in the early 1900s. And then about 1970, 75, right in there, the president was Robert Eisner. And he was getting toward the end of his tenure there. He'd been there about 20 years. His son was the head coach, and his name was Chuck Eisner. And he asked him, how are we going to advertise this school? We need to get the enrollment up. And they talked about football, they talked about basketball, and money-wise, basketball was a lot cheaper. So they took off, literally, is what I heard now. And this is coming straight from Mr. Eisner. He put his son in a van, sent him to D.C., and he came back with about 6 players. He gave them scholarships, and this is in the mid-'70s. And then it started from there, and it snowballed, from that point on. They went through about 6 or 8 coaches in like 7, 8 years. They had a coach every other year. And then I took over, and I was there.
What year was that when you took over?
I took over in 85. So they had 6 coaches since 1978. So in a 7-year period, they had 6 coaches. They had some players, but they were matriculating and turning over so fast, and they really weren't getting the ball rolling like they could. And nobody was doing what we were doing back then, traveling and bringing kids in and traveling and playing all over the country. And when he hired me, I stayed 39 years. And
so it's safe to say that Oak Hill was recruiting the DMV from its existence way before the Kevin Durant, the Ty Lawson, the Nolan Smith, and Quinn.
They got all the players from the D.C. area, basically. Baltimore, D.C. And then I took over in 85, and we took a couple kids from New York City and Philadelphia. So we started getting East Coast kids. And then it just took off from there.
And so when I came to Oak Hill, there weren't a lot of schools like Oak Hill. There were some, but Oak Hill stood out. Yeah. Like, what made Oak Hill different?
Yeah, because we were, I think, kids leaving home, coming to Oak Hill to get their grades for basketball, whatever the reason was. There wasn't anybody doing that. And we were a boarding school, so we had dormitories. You could live on campus like you did. And then we just traveled all over the place, and the kids loved playing those kind of games, and nobody did that. DeMatha did it kind of locally in D.C., but nobody was traveling all over the place like we were. I mean, we went to Vegas in the late 80s. Remember the new president that took over after Mr. Eisner was my boss, the first boss, Dr. Patton. And he told me the first year he took over, he said, Coach, this is on a trial basis. Because we were spending a lot of money traveling.
Right.
And we went to Vegas. We won the tournament. There was like 52 teams or something in it. You had to win 6 games in 4 days. And after that, we didn't pay for anything. Everybody, because we won that tournament, everybody was flying us in, paying us to play. And so then it got to be where it started making money for the school instead of us costing us money. And luckily we won that first year. Dr. Patton might have folded that thing.
You mentioned travel, and that's right, because one of the things I always remember my first time being in the gym was seeing a banner that you guys had won from a tournament in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like no schools were going to Hawaii.
Yeah. And we probably had the Vegas banner in there, the Hawaii banner. Most of those tournaments would give you a banner when you won it, and we'd hang it in our gym, and they'd be from all over the country, and that helps attract kids too.
So had you not won that tournament, there wouldn't be the Oak Hill as we know it today.
I tell that story a lot. I go, if we didn't win that tournament in Vegas that year, and we won the final about 8 points. I'm thinking we're 8 points away from not having a basketball program. And then all of a sudden, 40 years later, we still got it.
So when did you realize that you were building something special?
It took about 4 or 5 years. I mean, we had Rod Strickland. He was probably our first really good player, but we didn't have guys to complement him really. You know, there were a lot of low D1s, D2 players, D3 guys. But then it got to start, when you got guys like him, then I had Brian Shorter from Philadelphia, Chris Brooks from New York, who people are not going to remember now, but back in the 80s, they were big names. And we got those guys, and then we started getting other guys with them. And we get 2 and 3, top 50
Where was
kids.
Stacey Castle in that?
Stacey came to New York in 1990. He played with Jeff McGinnis. He was in the backcourt with Jeff McGinnis. Of course, his son Steph Castles plays for the Spurs.
It's pretty good.
Stacey came work my camp. I would say 10 years ago, and he brought his son with him for 2 or 3 years in a row. I mean, he was young. He was like 12 years old. You could tell he was going to be good, but Stacey was all over him the whole time. I felt bad for his son.
It seems like it worked out.
He'd bring him in and sit in my office. He'd go, "Coach, talk to him. He's not listening to me." And I talked to him a little bit. But he was just 12 years old, 11, 12, 13 at the time. And then look what he is now. He blew up. He went to college and
incredible player.
Played a year in UConn, won a national championship, and just about won an NBA title.
Yeah. You mentioned Rod being the first really good player, but he didn't have the cash. Like, who were the players that you would say that really put Oak Hill on the map?
I would say the group right after Stacey, Jeff McGinnis, Jerry Stackhouse, McTarr Inja, they all went to Carolina.
Unfortunately.
You went, right before you went to Duke. And then on that team, we had Alex Sanders, who went to Louisville, Tavares Johnson, who was from Charlotte, he went to Xavier, Mark Blunt, who was from South Carolina, he played in the NBA for 11 years, went to Pitt, played for the Celtics in the NBA. We had 4 NBA players on that team.
Incredible team.
So it went from where we had 1 really good player, we had 4 NBA guys on 1 high school team.
The first time.
That was in 1993.
The first time I heard of Oak Hill was Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah.
I was like, Stackhouse was, and you know better than anybody. If it was in today's general with social media and all that, he'd have been just as big as anybody.
Yeah. I mean, when he came out, being from North Carolina, they were comparing him to Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we got a magazine cover, and half the cover was a picture of Jordan, the other half was Jerry. It said the next Jordan. I'm like, whoa, you got a lot of pressure on you.
I remember, of course, you told me a lot of stories.
Yeah.
But one of the best stories, and I talk about this all the time, was you went to an AAU national championship game, and I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the Charlotte Royals versus Boo Williams.
It was.
And Charlotte had
McGinnis, Stackhouse, Capel, Jeff Capel, or Jason Capel. And then it had...
No, it was Jeff,
Jeff, it was Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else they had. Tavares played on that team. I mean, half the team came to Oak Hill that year. Boo had Joe Smith, Allen Iverson. Tony Rutland. I mean, and the game was at Wake Forest, the finals. And it went into overtime. I don't remember who ended up... I don't remember who ended up winning, but I remember about 2 months later they had a rematch. They just set a game up, and they played down in a little place called Elkin, North Carolina. Those 2 teams showed up and played each other. So I went and saw them again. I mean, it was some wars now. Those guys.
And you talk about the magnitude of this game. You talk about Boo Williams has 2 #1 picks on that team, Joe Smith and AI.
Yep.
And obviously, it was Stackhouse.
I mean, you had like 3 national players of the year.
Yeah.
Basically playing in a game, 1 game.
And how old were they at this time? 16, 17?
Oh, yeah, 17. They were 17 under.
So I remember asking Jeff Capel about it. I was like, Coach Smith told me about this game. So Jeff says that's actually the first time he actually saw Allen Iverson in person.
Yeah.
He had heard about him, and he got hurt that game. And so he told me a story. He said, first of all, like Allen was just extremely fast, like nobody could stay in front, but he couldn't really shoot at that point yet. And so he gets hurt, goes to the hospital. So his brother Jason comes to see him at the hospital, and he says, you know what happened in the game?
Yep.
He says, man, this dude on the other team, Allen Iverson, he was killing everybody.
He was. That might have been the first time I saw him play.
He's the best player I ever seen.
I mean, he's little too. I mean, you looked at him, you walked in the gym, that's Allen Iverson? But he was quick, he'd get in the lane and make plays. And
Yeah, Jeff said he knew if he developed a jump shot, he would be unguardable, which seemed to be accurate.
Excuse me.
And so, was there one player that changed everything? Was it Rod? People say, "Oh, Rod Strickland's there. I want to go there." Was it Stack? Yeah, I know Stack had a group that came with it.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, Rod was a big name for us because he was from New York City, and he was. I mean, this is before the internet and all that. You just go on hearsay, but when you got a guard from New York City, you know, a point guard, and you got Rod coming in. I remember when he came to campus, he got there he called about a week after school started. So he came like a week, 10 days late. And this was before, like I say, the internet, before. The only thing we had was a scouting report, Bob Gibbons or Tom Kinchowski. So we get the report and read what they say about Rod. But you never saw him play or anything. And this is when they used to play the AAU games outside in New York on the blacktop. And so it's a long time ago. But he shows up, and there was a coach there from the University of Detroit. Frank Marino was his name, but he was a New York City guy. And I knew him from five-star camp and around. And he had seen Rod play. There was about 10 coaches there that night watching our kids work out. Rod just got there like an hour before. Just literally got off the van. We put some practice gear on, set him up in the gym, and Frank told me, Coach, when he walks in the gym, he's going to own this place. I said, no way. I said, we got some guys out there now. I got a point guard out there going to Cincinnati. I said, we got 5 or 6 D1 guys. I said, he's not going to own this gym. Well, they played about 10 minutes. I looked at Frank and go, you got the keys because he owns the gym. I mean, he was that good, but we didn't know until he got there. But I'd say Rod and then probably Jerry, because Jerry's name was so big.
Yeah.
I mean, his name was huge in high school basketball. He won a state championship at Kinston High School as a junior. He's from, like I say, North Carolina, and he was supposed to be the next, Jordan. Yeah. And so when he came, I kind of got things going.
And you talk about that team. We're talking about Jerry, but Jeff McGinnis was a great guard.
They don't know how good Jeff was.
I mean, think about at that time, Touche's size.
Yeah.
At that time, he's already 6'4". And you didn't come across that a lot.
No.
Back in those times.
He's 6'4", and he had that little spin move. Get down the lane, it was automatic.
Lived in the paint.
When I saw him play Iverson in those games, he played him head up. I mean, one game they both had about 30, both of them. They were the leading scorers, not Jerry. One game, those two guys. And, McGinnis could flat out score, and he was a big guard, 6'4".
That's when I was young, just watching. I just remember going left, spinning back right.
Oh, yeah.
Off 2 feet, touch shot.
He played with a lot of pace and never got in a hurry. He understood the game. He had a great feel. Yeah, he was really good.
He was one of the first Oak Hill guys that I really met and, would talk to a good bit.
Yeah.
Him, Curtis.
Yep.
Tariq Turner.
Yep. Curtis
Summer.
Staples. Yep.
I come up for summer school and I'm working camp and all these guys are back.
Yep.
So we're playing every day. Ron shows up.
Yep.
And it was just a great time because these are all the guys you hear about or see on TV, and they're here, in this gym, and I'm getting to play against them. That was a great moment for me, being a young kid, being in there. So Oak Hill has good players.
Yep.
So when did it go from good players to I have NBA players?
Probably that first group was Jerry and them, because there was 4 NBA guys on that team. And then, we started getting a player. Almost every year we'd have a kid drafted. I mean, it seemed like one a year, because we were having like a McDonald's All-American every year. So it was kind of correlating. Once those guys grew their game and with 3 or 4 years out went into college. Back then everybody went to college, 4 years. And then
I think my year was the streak it in.
Oh, Mercer went 2 years. We had Ron, Ron graduated in 95, and he was a lottery pick. You were a lottery pick, and Stack was a lottery pick. we had a bunch of first rounders too in the 90s. And it kept going like that for 25 straight years. I mean, we just started stockpiling.
So it starts to shift. So when did NBA scouts start coming into the gym?
They came, when I remember them coming was when we had Rajon and Josh, because you could come out and then, you know, they had they would change the rule a couple of times, but you could come out and couldn't come out. And so, but when they were there, 2004, I remember Melo, when Melo was there in 2002, he could have come out, but he went to college a year. But there was about a 3 or 4 year stretch in there where you could go straight pro. And they would come watch those guys. I remember when the scouts would come to see Josh Smith because he had no intentions of going to college. And he was telling people that. He committed to Indiana, but he wasn't going. I mean, everybody knew it. And Rajon was on the team, but Rajon wasn't as widely known as, but all the scouts would leave the gym and tell me, he ain't even your best player. Rajon Rondo is.
What made Rondo so good?
Whew. One thing was, I don't think he knew how good he was. I mean, he came out of Louisville Eastern High School. I think he was like 12th, 13th ranked point guard in the country when he got there. He was ranked about 85 in the country, in the top 100, going into his senior year.
And that's the class with Sebastian Telfair.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And matter of fact, in the fall, Rajon had 2 offers, NC Charlotte and Clemson.
Wow.
That's his 2 offers. It's fall of his senior year. And but with Rajon, he just blew up. You know, he got on. It's him and Josh. All these guys we go undefeated. We're traveling all over the country. Everybody's seen him. The scouts are seeing him. He went from 12 or 13 to number 1. And the little guard, Dwayne Washington, remember him?
Yeah.
Out of Florida.
Yep.
He wanted to come to Oak Hill. And I told his dad, I said, I can't take him. And he said, why? I said, I got Rajon Rondo coming. He goes, Rajon Rondo? He goes, he's not as good as my son. Well, he was only going on the rankings.
Yeah.
I don't think the dad ever saw Rajon play.
Right.
I saw him play at Bob Gibbons' tournament in the spring. I knew how good he was. I didn't know he was that good, but I knew he was good. I knew he was underrated. And I said, look, I can't take 2 guards near the same ability at the same position.
Yeah.
I said, if they weren't point guards, I'd take them. But they're both true point guards. They both got to have the ball. This ain't going to work. One of them's playing, one of them's starting, one of them's not starting. That's not going to work. And so I ended up, I didn't take him. I remember going to the McDonald's game, and his dad sat behind me, and he tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, Coach, you were right. I said, I told you how good he was.
On that note, Coach, who's the best player that wanted to come to Oak Hill that you never took?
I would say Kevin Durant. He came up there twice. He visited twice. He visited for his junior year and his senior year, and we didn't take him.
So you'd have had Garnett and Mercer together.
On the same team. On the same team.
You had that at Nike camp.
Yeah, exactly.
KG used to tell me about it.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He wanted to come so bad, and he just wanted to get out of Malden, South Carolina. And I took him in to see Dr. Patton. And I told him when we went in, I said, Kevin, when you go in there now, you gotta tell him how bad you want to be here. You follow all the rules, blah, blah, blah. Because nobody ever saw Kevin except on the court. Yeah. On the court, he's very demonstrative.
Yeah.
He was fine off the court. But nobody knew that. I thought so from what I'd been told. And I was telling that to Dr. Patton, but the president was like, he wanted to be assured of it. He just never felt comfortable. And that's basically why I didn't take him. But I remember standing at the Nike camp that summer, and they're interviewing me about some other player, and Kevin comes by and he sticks his head in the interview. Coach Smith, I'm coming to Oak Hill. I never forget that.
So apparently you had an incredible team at Nike camp.
Oh.
Chris Carwell tells me about this team all the time. Chris was on it.
Yep.
So you have Ron, KG, Carwell, Ricky Moore. Who else did you have? Alvin Jones.
Yep. I remember one game, it was like a close. You know how camp games are. Sometimes we should be killing everybody, but one game it was close, and we had a timeout. I think it was like a tie game. And, of course, I got Ron and Kevin. I'm like, who's taking their last shot? One of them's got to take it. Well, I knew I was going to go to Kevin. But Ron was coming to me, so. But I tell in the huddle, it's like 10 seconds to go. I'm diagramming a play to get it inside to Kevin because ain't nobody could guard him. Right. And he goes, Coach, just forget that. Just give me the ball. He goes, just give me the ball. We're going to win the game. I go, I know that. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get you the ball where I know you're going to score. Sure enough, we come out, throw it down the block to him, and he scores at the end of the game. He looks at me and just kind of smiles like, I told you I was going to win the game.
All right, so on the note of now you just named a ton of NBA players you've coached. From your perspective, like what separates really good high school players from NBA players?
Yeah, I mean, some of them are.
Can you see it?
I mean, some of them just got the talent, and you know they're going to make it. You know what I mean? But usually, if you got the ones that are really talented and they work as hard as anybody else, or harder than anybody else, and you know they're going to make it. Some guys just make it on sheer talent, sheer skill. I've had guys walk in the gym at Oak Hill, I'm like, that guy's a pro. You know, I knew from the first day I saw him. Then had other guys that I thought.
Who are some of those guys that you knew right away?
Whew. Of course, you take the obvious ones, you know, like Melo and KD, but I knew Rajon was, and nobody else did. You know, I told people how good KD was, and they laughed at me compared to Melo. I said, he's better than Melo. And they were like, there's no way. I said, I'm telling you. I've watched all these guys play.
Yeah.
I said, now he's $180. When he gets some weight on him, he'll. But this guy is skilled, and of course he came in after Melo, and Melo probably get mad at me for saying it, but I mean KD's top 10 and ever played a game probably. Right. Melo's close too.
He's in my top 10.
Yeah, Melo's close too, but yeah, there's guys you know, and then there's other guys like you say they work at it and develop and. They keep their nose clean because there's a lot to it. You know, they hang with the right people. They're about the right things.
What about Melo did you see early on where you knew he was a pro?
He just had such great footwork. You don't hear people talk about footwork much, but back then, whoa. I mean, he was a consummate triple threat guy.
Yeah, that
his jab step series. Yeah. I could have done a video. I started to do a video with him, some videos with him, because I mean the stuff he did offensively, his footwork.
Yeah.
I mean, because he wasn't a great athlete.
Right.
But he could get his shot off on anybody. He could create space. I mean, he knew how to play. But and he worked at it. I mean, he really worked at it. He was big, strong, lower body in high school. He had big, strong legs. He was much stronger below the waist than he was above the waist. And a lot of guys aren't like that. Most guys are the opposite. But he made the most of his ability, and I mean, he's a great offensive player.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about elite prospects?
That's a tough one there. I think a lot of people think that they're just handed stuff. You know, it's just given to them. They don't work at it, and the really good ones do. I mean, you hear the stories about Kobe and MJ and all these guys. And the ones that I've had, like KD, Melo, the best players I've had were guys that worked hard too. I mean, they weren't just born with it. I mean, they developed their skill and their craft, and if they knew there's something they didn't do well, they'd work at that to improve that. But I mean, I think a lot of people think those guys are just born with it, and it's not like that. I mean, there's a few guys that are gifted athletically, obviously, but I mean, Jordan's as athletic as he was, and then but also to put the time in that he did. Yeah. That's why he's the best player ever played the game. So we don't need to get in my GOAT conversation.
So you're going on record, Jordan is your GOAT.
He's my GOAT, for sure. Not even close.
Who's your top 5?
All-time players?
You don't have to put it, just give me your 5. They don't have to be in order.
Ooh, man.
Just give me your 5.
Magic Johnson. Because I'm good at my age now, but people don't realize how good he was. Magic, Bird, Kareem. Man, it's hard with... I guess you got to put LeBron in there.
Gotta go Bron, Coach. You got to go Bron.
I coached against him 3 times. Sophomore, junior, senior. I saw it in person.
And what you've seen a lot more. I don't think people give Kareem the respect.
I don't either.
From what he did at all levels, high school, college, and pro. Why is that?
I don't know, because he was. How many guys shooting 70-foot sky hooks? Tell how many guys can do that. Nobody's going to do that nowadays. They're not going to work on that skill. But you see a guy like him, man. and he'd run the floor, score. He played with Magic, played with all the great players. Didn't cry for the ball, didn't demand the ball, wasn't a problem. I mean, it's a dead opposite for a guy as good as he was. I noticed he rags on some of these other guys, the newer group, because they don't play like he did. I mean, he played when they were like taking your head off, fouling you every time down the court. And
those Lakers Piston games. Lakers Celtics games.
Yeah. Larry Bird was unbelievable. I don't think they know how good he was either. Now there's guys recently, I'm sure, they're gonna miss with the new wave and the way guys play. I mean, there's guys doing things now that.
Were you going with Bird or Dirk?
Whoa. I mean, Dirk's about 6'11", so he's got a little edge there, but Bird could really pass, man.
I'm going with Bird, and this is why. For a long time, I felt like the 80s was some of the best basketball in the NBA. So many greats in their prime.
Yeah.
Bird wins the MVP 3 times.
3 times.
So, arguably, he dominated one of the best eras in basketball.
I mean, he dominated good players, too.
Right.
Fouling him, hanging all over him, and the guy would go for 35 every night. He might go for 40 every night if he wanted to. But, I mean, he played on a good team. He had other players. But, I mean, that guy was unstoppable. And he really could pass.
Great size.
Yep.
Brought it every night. All right, Coach, so the best player that you ever coached against while at Oak Hill?
Wow. I'd say LeBron, Tracy McGrady.
I was a part of 2 of those.
And then, might have been part of the last one too, maybe Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
Because in high school, Lamar Odom was really good.
He was really
You remember they played us?
Twice.
We played him on a Monday.
We got him the first one.
Played him on a Monday, beat him by about 30.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
He didn't play well at all. And they had a game. We weren't supposed to play him again. Mm-hmm. They went down to Tennessee and got a game canceled. I don't know if you remember this.
Yep.
And they, so their coach called me and said, "Can we play on the way home on Wednesday? We can't come all the way down there for one game." So I said, we'll play you again. I'm thinking, we'll beat them by 30 again. He walked in that day. They had a shoot around, and I remember Lamar walked in. I knew Lamar was. He almost came to Oak Hill. He stuck his head in. He goes, "Coach," I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Ain't gonna be like Monday night." I just said, "Yeah, okay, we'll see." Well, we start the game. He's bang, bang, bang. He's just making everything in sight. He had like 35.
Yeah. Shooting from everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know.
Those 2 guys, obviously I played against both of them when I was at Oak Hill. Yeah. They were so different. They were different than each other.
Yeah.
But they were so different. Nobody had the size that could do what they could do at that time.
Yeah.
They were like unicorns.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar's ability to handle the ball, see the floor, shoot, and understanding of the game. And Tracy had all that, and he was a freak athlete.
And he's a freak athlete.
I mean, it was just incredible. Every time, somebody asked me who was the best player I ever played against in high school, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
Right.
But McGrady I remember McGrady just jumping off 2 feet where most guys take off.
We played him in Carolina, didn't we?
Yeah, back. I thought we were going to get him that time.
We were. If those 2 guys hadn't been reffing.
Right. I thought we was going to get him that time. It got us in Maryland. I was like, this but I thought we was going to get him. And they had a good squad with Max Owens to go along with.
They had a good team.
Travis Spivey.
They had their parishioners reffing the game,
right,
too. So
right.
That didn't help.
Right.
You probably remember this. The ball went out of bounds right in front of our bench, and you were standing there, and you could barely even hear a whistle. I mean, the ref was, I don't even know if he called anything, but the ball goes out. I don't think he said a word. I picked the ball up, and I told you, I said, "Take the ball out, it's our ball." Because it was our ball, but he was going to give it to them. Mm-hmm. And I just want to see what the guy was going to do. Will takes the ball, you throw it in, down we go. They don't say a word. The ref's just standing there looking at me. I'm like, "You gonna say anything or not?" They didn't say nothing. So we just kept playing. I'm like, man.
And that was a big time atmosphere because Duke and Carolina were playing the next day. I think, you and I stayed to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably 12,000 people at that high school game.
Yeah. That was a big time game. I'm gonna just run off a list of guys.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me either the funniest or your favorite story about him. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Man, when he was at Oak Hill, he was quiet as a mouse. I mean, he was so quiet. And I told you he was about 180 pounds, maybe, 6'9". And my wife, Miss Smith, was basically his mom away from home. And
Like she was to all of us.
Oh, she was, yeah. But he had a rough time because she would get on him. Here's how she equated if he played a good game. She would check his halftime stats when she come to games. If he had like 18, now she got to realize he's not playing much second half because we were killing everybody. And if he didn't get 36, she just multiplied by 2. If he didn't get 36, she'd be blasting him after the game. And I'd turn around and my wife would be over there. She'd be hugging him and it's okay, Kevin.
Brownies later.
Yeah, got some brownies for you. He'd be over there crying, basically crying because his mom's yelling at him. I felt so bad for him. But he was quiet, didn't say much. He just did his thing.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo was from, he claims New York and Baltimore. I guess he was in New York till he was like a 9th grader. Then he moved to Baltimore. Melo was, I'm trying to think of a good story on Melo. We went back home and played Townsend Catholic, his old school. He transferred from Townsend Catholic. And lo and behold, they called me in the summer and say, we want to play a game. I'm like, y'all know he's coming to Oak Hill, don't you? And because I knew they didn't have much else. And coach goes, yeah. We think we make some money, and we're fine if we'll play against him. We're hospitable in Baltimore. I said, okay. So we take him up there, and I had another kid on the team, Sonny Ibrahim, was a foreign kid from Nigeria who was supposed to be a pro too. He's about 6'9". But he had the hardest time because we were going to Melo's. Well, we're not going to Nigeria to play. So we go up there, and Sonny had 1 point. But Melo scores 30, I think he had like 33 points. We win by about 30. And of course, he's the toast of the town, and I felt bad for the coach, but he scheduled the game, We took our cut of the money and went back to Oak Hill. But I mean, we were sitting in our hotel room about 2 hours before the game, and the guy that started Under Armour out of Baltimore knocks on my door, and he said, and this is back when all they had was tights. Remember when they first came out with the tights, and they didn't have anything else. He throws this huge box on the floor and says, will you guys wear this to the game now? Well, we had a Nike contract.
Right.
We had like the biggest high school Nike contract you could get. I said, look, I'll give them to the players, but we ain't wearing them. We're not going to be wearing them in the game or in practice or anywhere like that. But Melo loved the stuff, just because it's from Baltimore.
Right.
But he never wore it. And but Melo was an entrepreneur from day one, Good story on Melo was, though, I mentioned earlier, you could come out straight out of high school. And I was calling around, and scouts were calling me going, is he coming out or not? I go, I don't know. So I'd call home. I talked to his people back home. I talked to his mom. I talked to Bay, who is now he's agent, but Bay was his guy back then. And I said, they're talking about top 10. I said, he might be top 5. I don't know. I said, it's your deal. Melo says he's going to Syracuse if he gets his test score. And, most kids would have said, not even tried.
Right.
I'm gone.
Gone, yeah.
And, but Melo goes, no, Coach, if I pass this test, I promise my mother I'm going to college. I said, okay. He didn't say for how long. So he takes the test, like, I think it was like in March, and we rushed the score back. And he got it right on the nose. I mean, right on the nose. And I called him in and told him, and I said, now look, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you, you just qualified. Here's your score. You're good to go if you want to go to Syracuse. And he jumps up. He goes, Coach, I'm going to college. I promise you. I told my mother. I promised her I'm going to college. He didn't care how much money and it wouldn't have been that much difference. The only thing he would have done was, and let's say he's 5th or 7th pick, he was 3rd the next year. Yeah. But he got that big Nike deal.
Yeah.
He got a huge Nike deal by going to college, winning the national championship, smiling,
and
doing the interviews on the camera, and
for me,
being the MVP.
I think I could be biased,
Yeah.
the Oak Hill thing, but I think it's the best freshman year that we've seen.
Yeah. I mean, how many freshmen?
I mean, I think it was 22-10 or 20-10.
He averaged 21 at Oak Hill. He averaged 22 at Syracuse. He averaged more at Syracuse. I felt like Dean Smith with MJ, who held him back. I did, I guess.
Amazing run, though, that freshman year. Like, nobody expected him to win it, and he was incredible.
I mean, he got better every game in the tournament.
Yeah.
Like I say, he was a great interview, and he did all the right things, and next thing you know, he got that big Nike deal. So he would have got endorsements out of Oak Hill, but not to the extent that he got winning the national championship at Syracuse.
And that Oak Hill jersey is still selling.
That thing's selling like hotcakes. Whew, I got a great story on that one too, man.
Let's hear it.
Nike did 5 jerseys. They did Allen Iverson's, Kobe's, Melo's, LeBron's, and there was one other guy. They put them all out at the same time. And I don't know why. I know we had good color, but Melo outsold everybody. Together, they told me. Nike goes, Melo sold more than the other 4 all together.
It was probably the bigger brand
Iverson was the other one.
Bigger brand out of all the high schools.
So they put it out. They sent us a contract and said, here's, we're going to give you like 7%. 7%. I'm thinking 7% of what? What are we going to get? How much money are we really going to get? And next thing I know, I see it in Foot Locker, Finish Line, all those sporting goods stores. Everybody's selling them. And they came out 4 times that year. They put the red jersey out, the gold jersey. The gold jersey is the first one. You still see those.
Yeah.
The red one, then the black one, then the white one. Every 3 months. So when I got the first check for the school, I just saw a Nike check, so I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just something coming from Nike that they owed the school. I opened that check up, and it was $248,000. And I'm thinking to myself, 3 months, 7%. If we got that much, how much did Nike get? Because the contract I saw was 7% Oak Hill, 7% Melo, and then 86% goes to Nike. And I'm thinking, man, how much money they made off that high school jersey? But I see it you still see them, and I go, well, I wonder if they don't sell. And I asked somebody from Nike one time, if you don't, they go, oh no. When it leaves our warehouse and it goes to the Finish Line or goes to Foot Locker or goes to wherever, Champs, we already made our money.
Yeah.
If they sell it, that's up to them. That's on them to sell it. So, wow, I said, that's unbelievable.
High school jersey.
I gave that check to Dr. Groves, was the president then. He goes, what's this? I go, it's free money. I said, that's from Melo's jersey. He goes, you got to be kidding me. I said, and that's only for 3 months. You're going to get a check every time they sell it. No check was that big ever again, but when it first came out, it was huge.
Man, for 3 months, that's incredible.
That was
$248,000 goes a long way to high school.
Yeah, a long way to high school.
Rajon Rondo.
Oh man, Rajon had the biggest hands I've ever seen on a point guard. I mean, you ever shake his hand?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
His thumb is the same size as the index finger. I noticed that. He showed me that too. I mean, it's all the way out there. I mean, his thumb that's why he could do all this with the ball. People would say, how's he palm the ball like that? I said, you should see his hands. He's got hands bigger than most centers do. But it allows him to do stuff that other guys can't do as a point guard. His wraparound pass and all that stuff he does. I still look at highlights of him. I mean, he's been gone for, 2004. He's been gone for 22 years. And about 2 weeks ago, I turned the YouTube on, punched in Oak Hill Rajon Rondo. And I saw some highlights. I said, man.
He was bouncy then, too.
Oh, yeah, he was bouncy. Then they showed the NBA. Some of the passes he threw in the NBA were crazy. But he just had a knack he had eyes in the back of his head. He knows how to play. I mean, he's smart.
Son's pretty good, too.
Yeah. Son's really good. I told him his son shoots it a lot better than he did.
Yeah.
He goes, you're right, coach.
All right, his teammate, Josh Smith. What's the craziest dunk you ever seen him do? In game.
The craziest dunk I ever saw him do was in Turner Gym. Mike Davis was there, who was the head coach in Indiana, where he is signed, like I mentioned, but he's not. We knew he wasn't going. At that night, I was sitting with Mike Davis at midcourt in Turner Gym. Our guys are working out, and then they're playing 5-on-5. Pitino was there, Bob Huggins. There was a bunch of college guys there. They were sitting down by the doorway. And Josh gets the ball in transition. He jumps off 2 feet from the left elbow. So he was outside, I'm saying outside the foul line. He's probably 17 feet, off 2 feet. Hammers it with 2 hands. I mean, I've seen some dunks in that gym now.
Right.
But I've not seen one like that. And those coaches looked down at Mike Davis, and I remember Huggins going, I don't know what you're doing in this gym, because that kid is never coming to Indiana. And then Pitino gets in on it, you know. Yeah. And Mike Davis is like, Mike's sitting there like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten into? I got to show up. He's committed, you know. I'm hoping he comes to Indiana, but I didn't want to tell him he's not coming to Indiana. He's got no intentions of going to college, but he did some things in the games too. Of course, he had Rajon throwing him alley oops all night long.
Amazing.
I mean, they
duo in high school basketball.
We had set plays, but most of his stuff was just in transition, where Rajon would take off with the ball, and then Josh would know it's coming.
Is it the best duo, or would you go Jeff and Jerry?
As far as highlight tapes, it's Rajon and Josh. If you want a video highlight.
And what's crazy is, Jerry was considered a great athlete as well, but Josh is just something different.
Josh was about 6'9", and he could jump. I mean, that guy, I've not seen a guy jump like that. Of course, he won the NBA dunk contest. Yeah. I don't know if it was his first or second year in the league, but he just did stuff. And then you have Rajon just throwing the ball up there anywhere.
Anywhere.
I mean, just throw it.
I saw a highlight recently when Josh was throwing it to Rondo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember anytime Rajon would veer to one side of the floor, I said, just throw it to the corner of the backboard. Like, if you're right here, I just throw it, and throw it high enough, nobody else is going to get it.
He's going to get it.
And he's going to dunk it. I mean, there's no way they're going to stop him.
Jerry Stackhouse.
He was a highlight reel, too. Jerry was, I would say, in high school, he was he's a lot different than he was in college and in the pros. I mean, he was just a full-grown man in high school. Mm-hmm. Nobody could guard him. You stick him down on the block on an out-of-bounds play and just hand the ball to him, basically. And nobody could stop him from scoring. I mean, he was a bull inside, but then he also could play on the perimeter. And, of course, as he developed his game, he basically was just playing outside as a guard the whole time. But in high school, he was a man. I mean, he could play 1 through 5. You could put him wherever you wanted to. But nobody could guard him. He was so physical and strong. And he played with he had air about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was cocky and had an ego, and he knew he was good, and nobody could play with him. And everybody was scared of him. I mean, they literally were scared to play with him. I mean, play against him.
Yeah.
And when you walked in the gym, they'd be like, whoa, Stack's in the house, In high school, it was like over in the layup line. When he walked out there and warmed up, you could hear the gym buzzing.
So we talked about some great players that came through the Hill. Who is the forgotten one, the most underrated, the one that can really go? And I think I know what you're going to say, that no one talks about. Who would be that guy?
You probably know this better than I do. Because when anybody asks me that question, I always think of all the stars,
No, it's one guy, because, I was always at your house just picking your brain all the time.
I'm trying to think of who.
This guy way back in the day. This is what you told me was...
In the 80s?
Probably, yeah.
Not Chris Brooks.
Lloyd Daniels.
Lloyd Daniels.
That's the way you talked about all the time.
Lloyd Daniels was a freak of nature. I mean, Sweet Pea was his nickname.
Sweet Pea, yeah.
He's a New York legend, playground legend. And I remember when we used to have an old radio table set up in the far corner in the gym, and it was behind the backboard in the corner up by the visitor's bench. So it'd be about 30, 35 feet out, but behind the glass. He would stand back there and warm up shooting, like shooting free throws, all net. I saw him make 10 straight. He'd shoot and go, get that, coach, get that, coach. I mean, he literally, he would be in the far dead corner. He had to shoot over the corner of the backboard, and he barely would hit the rim. Most times he wouldn't hit the rim. He was that smooth. And
that's a guy, when you mention Oak Hill, a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah. Some people knew he went there, but some people don't know. A lot of people don't know, but he's probably the best player ever not to make it big time that I thought was a lock. Because he was about 6'8", point guard, smooth, change of pace. He wasn't a very good athlete either, but he knew how to play. He could shoot it, pass it. But I remember him playing. He came over the first scrimmage of the season, 1985, my first year as head coach. He said, Coach, these guys can't catch my passes. As he's telling me this, I go, well, that guy you just threw the ball to and didn't catch it? I said, that's your fault. He goes, why? I go, because he's a McDonald's All-American just like you are. It's Chris Brooks. I said, he's top 5 USA Today. Matter of fact, they got him ranked higher than you are. And you telling me he can't catch your passes? Throw the right pass. But he usually did throw the right pass. But he would throw passes they wouldn't even know were coming. I mean, he was a big guard. Didn't jump this far off the floor on his jump shot, but you couldn't got him because he's 6'8". I mean, he's still knocking down shots. And he creates space, and I mean, he was really good. He played at UNLV, and then really didn't have his head on straight, wasn't a good student. Then he went and played with the Spurs, played with the Nets. I think he played like 7 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he didn't play in the NBA, but I thought he could have been an all-star. I mean, he was that level.
Couple rapid fire for it. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Okay.
All right. Of all time, best scorer.
Whoa. At Oak Hill?
At Oak Hill.
Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings.
Best shooter.
I got 2. Curtis Staples, who was the leading three-point shooter in Division I when he was in Virginia.
Yeah.
And Rashad Caruth.
Okay. Best passer.
Oh, wow. Rondo.
Highest IQ.
Might be the same guy. Rajon Rondo. He's awful smart now.
Most athletic.
Josh Smith. Josh Smith.
Best defender.
Cliff Hawkins. Played in Kentucky.
Yeah. Best leader.
Man, we got a bunch of them. I'd say Jeff McGinnis.
Yeah. Most underrated.
Wow, most underrated. If you go on, I keep saying Rajon's name, but if you go by scouting services, it's Rajon.
Biggest trash talker.
There's been a few of those. There's quiet ones and then there's loud ones. I'd say Brandon Jennings. He'd tell you about it after you got done too.
And Brandon, now correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon was the #1 player in the country in his class, right?
He won the Naismith Award.
Yeah. All right. It's going to be a tough one. Player you trust with the last shot.
Oh, man. I'd say Carmelo. You know he's going to get the shot, and you know he's probably going to make it. I would say Carmelo.
All right. And the last one, player you trust to coach your son.
There's been a lot of them. Nolan Smith.
All right. That's a good one.
That's got to finish with a dookie.
Got to. I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
you got it.